Wake up, America. Wake up to what Donald Trump is doing. Here he is once again trying to rig the system. He doesn't believe in the rules.
Let's talk about the Epstein stuff. It was a big push in his campaign about releasing the Epstein files. When are we going to see the list? He rode that, in the campaign, and then is potentially destroying his entire base by just dismissing it and closing the case.
I thought it got real interesting when Elon put out that tweet. And then all of a sudden, a few weeks later, what file? I thought it was really interesting to watch Trump take over for Pam. She was asked a direct question about it. Trump defensively jumped in. Epstein and Trump knew each other. Those aren't AI videos of those guys. We can't stand back and watch this democracy disappear district by district. We have got to meet fire with fire. We're asking the voters for their consent to do midterm redistricting to level the playing field all across the United States. On November 4th, you have the power to stand up to Trump. Donald Trump, you have poked the bear, and we will punch back.
With Gavin Newsom taking aim, Donald Trump's towering image suddenly looks fragile, almost paper-thin.
Just did. Donald Trump didn't do what he just did. He went so far as to follow up and say that he didn't just want those 5 seats. He said he's, quote-unquote, entitled to those 5 seats. Just pause and reflect on that. He's a stone-cold liar. I respect the presidency. I've tried to have an open hand with him. Tried to work with him. You can't work with Donald Trump. You can only work for him. And I refuse to work for Donald Trump.
Gavin Newsom tearing into Donald Trump is the spectacle no one expected, but everyone secretly relishes.
We got here because the President of the United States is struggling. We got here because the President of the United States is one of the most unpopular presidents in U.S. history. We got here because he recognizes that he will lose the election. Congress will go back into the hands of the Democratic Party next November. We got here because of his failed policies. Those are being exposed hour by hour, reinforced today by Walmart announcing they'll be raising prices because of the tax increases, because of the tariffs.
The first blow lands when Newsom takes aim at Trump's obsession with image. Trump's brand thrives less on brilliance and more on plastering his name across anything flashy enough to fool people.
It begs the question of your reaction to what President Trump said yesterday as it relates to mail-in ballot, where he now is asserting that he's got his lawyers drafting an executive order and he's going after mail-in ballots, something that he is very well known for having used himself.
Newsom twists the knife, mocking the irony of someone who sells invincibility, but behaves like the most fragile celebrity on stage.
Today is Liberation Day in the state of California, and as Senator Schiff said, Donald Trump, you have poked the bear, and we will punch back. And here we are, an open and plain sight before one vote is cast in the 2026 midterm election. And here he is once again trying to rig the system. He doesn't play by a different set of rules. He doesn't believe in the rules. And as a consequence, we need to disabuse ourselves of the way things have been done.
And then comes the hypocrisy. Trump sells himself as the working man's voice while living a life of cartoonish extravagance.
He told Pam Bondi, do not release
Stifle this. That I don't know.
Yeah, well,
I don't know.
You think Pam Bondi, independent? How in the hell do you not know that? You seriously think Pam decided on her own as an independent source for the AG? Mr. President, I just want to let you know, here's my decision. I won't be reduced to eliminate or providing this file. Give me a damn break. President of the United States claiming he's entitled to 5 seats. That should put chills up your spine. Every Republican, not just Democrat and independent, every American. We're responding what occurred in Texas. We're neutralizing what occurred, and we're giving the American people a fair chance. Because when all things are equal, and we're all playing by the same set of rules, there's no question that the Republican Party will be the minority party in the House of Representatives next year.
Trump doesn't just want support. He craves adoration, endless applause, and constant reassurance that he's still the biggest name in the room. Newsom tears into that weakness, mocking a commander-in-chief who checks ratings like a reality show contestant terrified of elimination.
Well, we're fighting fire with fire. Donald Trump is not screwing around. He's trying to rig the next election in the midterms. There's a reason Members of the Trump team sent me a Trump 2028 hat with a note. Is they're not screwing around, and we can no longer screw around either.
That was California Governor Gavin Newsom telling Democrats they need to fight fire with fire in combating Trump and the GOP's redistricting effort.
Newsom doesn't just attack Trump's character. He dismantles the fantasy Trump peddles to his followers. A governor running one of the nation's largest states versus a president staging politics like a season finale cliffhanger.
Was Trump on the Epstein list or not? I need to know from the two of you. Was Trump on the damn list?
I think he is worried that he is somewhere in the files. So, like, I don't even know if there's a list. Like, I'm willing to believe that there's just no list.
Okay.
But there's clearly tons and tons of documents that the DOJ has. And he is now, because he's gone through a criminal trial and been charged a couple other times, he knows that there are plenty of court filings and documents that have all kinds of information in it. And, you know, the standard to put something in an indictment is obviously not the same. So I'm sure he is concerned that, yeah, maybe he's not on a list as a client.
Why else would you try to rig the system? Why else would you make the phone call? He's a failed president. Who else sends ICE same time having a conversation like this? Someone who's weak. Someone who's broken. Someone whose weakness is masquerading as strength.
Newsom draws a sharp contrast with his own record, pointing out how he shows up when wildfires rage, when floods devastate towns, and when people need leadership on the ground.
Reminded every day by a slowing economy, growing mistrust, distrust all across this nation, across the board, he is failing. He recognized that, and that's why he made a phone call to Greg Abbott, asking for 5 seats. Can't win by playing by traditional sets of rules. He plays by no rules. I remind you all the time, it's not the rule of law, it's the rule of Don. And we're standing up to that. We're responding to that.
Then comes Trump's obsession with size. Crowd sizes, hand sizes, building sizes. If it can be measured, he wants to be the biggest. Newsom skewers the absurdity of a man so insecure he'll argue with photographic evidence just to insist his inauguration crowd was the largest in history. That's not strength, it's insecurity wrapped in a red tie. Newsom also hammers Trump's revolving door relationship with truth. Facts bend, reality shifts, and whatever Trump declares becomes gospel until it's proven false, at which point he pivots without shame. Then comes the legacy question. What will Trump really be remembered for? Tax cuts that balloon the deficit? Trade wars that hurt farmers? Endless scandals, lawsuits, and impeachments? His legacy isn't greatness, it's chaos. Newsom roasts him as the man who dreamed of Mount Rushmore, but make it only a historical footnote, dragging the Republican Party down with him.